I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you want the new 2025 Audi RS6 Avant. Last year we had a carbon edition. They also increased the horsepower by 30 and 37 pound-feet of torque. The performance is what we are showcasing today. They also offer a GT, which will have over 600 copies. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over some pros and cons. I'm going to compare this against the wagons that are in class with this, and I'll throw in a problem that I have with the RS6 Avant. Right off the bat, you can see an Audi a mile away. And a lot of that is because of the matrix design, LED headlights, daytime runnings, and Audi laser that integrates into the single frame Audi grille. The O-rings do not get the black. Now you would have to do like a chrome delete. This does not have the black optic package, so that's why the lower will get the satin aluminum. Performance, you're not gonna have to worry, because if you were ticking the box for the S6, this has nearly 200 horsepower more, nearly 200 pound-feet of torque more. Now going into a base A6, we'll have a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, where this has the 8-speed Tiptronic automatic transmission, and the same thing for the S6. So there is some things that change there, but what's housed underneath the hood is truly the gem. This is the 4.0 liter TFSI twin turbo V8 producing 621 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque, reaching 60 at 3.3 seconds, unlocking up to 190 mile-an-hour top speed. This is a wagon, and you're getting that kind of performance. We have the upgraded wheels. They start off at 21-inch. This is 22-inch Y-spoke alloy wheels. 16.5 inches is the front disc. Vented, slotted, it's ready for the track with 10 pistons behind those red brake calipers. It's 14.6 inches in the rear, which is almost the same size as the base model A6, so you can see what you're getting with full performance. Now, because we don't have the black optic package, you're getting that satin aluminum on the lower, around all the window seals, as well as the roof rails. Now, just for spec purposes, you're gonna achieve 14 MPGs for the city, 21 MPGs for the highway. The first reason why I would choose this over the competition is because of what is housed underneath the hood. I mean, 3.3 seconds 0 to 60 is insane for a family wagon. Now, I get it. In the comments, you're going to probably say, well, it's over 140 grand. I mean, when you're at this price, you might as well go all out, and that's what you're getting, a more or less detuned Lamborghini engine for half the price. RS Sport tuned suspension with dynamic ride control, as well as the active exhaust. You have to tick the box for that. In these red calipers, you also have to pay a few $100s, which is a con to me. You do have to add features in order to make this vehicle what it is. Otherwise, it's going to look a little bit basic, but it's never going to be a fly underneath the radar. And going against competition, now in North America, we will be getting the BMW M5 Wagon, which is awesome. It's going to have more horsepower than this. We have already reviewed the M5. We were the second people in the US to actually review it, and it's actually going to be faster than this example. That being said, you're going to also probably pay a few $1,000s more to get that, and it's a hybrid, where this, it's a twin turbo V8, which, I don't know, for me, that's a con. I wouldn't go hybrid if I'm looking for M. Mercedes is not even doing an E63 this year, so you have to go into the 53, in which it's going to have less horsepower, it's going to be slower than this. And as for the Porsche Panamera, we also have a review on that going into the GTS, which will be still over the price of this, and we got features around 20 grand added to it. Will still be slower, less horsepower than this. You have to go into the Turbo E Hybrid, in which that's 50 grand more than this with 20 grand of features spec'd out. So it makes no sense the way Porsche does their pricing, because Audi is going to have more performance underneath the hood. Standard LED taillights with the matrix design coming into play, and it does a little dance for you whenever you are locking the vehicle. The lower, because we don't have the black optic package, you're going to have the satin aluminum with dual oval exhaust finishers, which is specific to the RS trim. I like how aggressive the stance is all around the vehicle. I mean, my favorite variant is the RS7 Sportback, but when you go into the Avant, you are receiving more headroom, a little bit more cargo capacity, and the styling to it is going to set it apart in a parking lot. Reverse and front parking sensors with the 360-degree reverse camera. Audi takes care of you there. I mean, what would you do? Pick the BMW, Audi, or Porsche? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. Power liftgate is standard. I mean, this is an RS6 Avant, but check this out. I wanted to show this because I don't think any YouTuber ever talks about it. The privacy cover, it will electronically deploy for you to make it easier to get into a max of 30 cubic feet of storage. That's why you go Wagon, LED interior lights, bag holders on both sides. You get a storage pocket with a 12 volt. Underneath the floor, you do have some storage, and you can split fold the rear bench in the back. Why not? Make everything easy for everybody that owns this vehicle. You can also adjust this, which I don't know why you would want to leave it down, and that's gonna maximize cargo to the RS6 Avant, but we need to go inside, start this twin turbo V8 up so you can hear that exhaust note. The key fob to the RS6 Avant. Soft closed doors because we have the executive package. You do have to still touch it there. 12-way power seat adjustment for the front, manual cushion extension, heated ventilated front seats, cognac interior color with the RS badging, memory for the driver. We do have the upgraded Bang & Olufsen sound system, so when we fire it up, check out what it does. Because of the executive package, the dashboard is leather. The door panels is leather. Here, and here is leather. Otherwise, this will be plastic with a leather wrap steering wheel. It's heated, multi-function, perforated RS badging, square bottom with the RS button. So we're gonna go into the tech first. This is a 10.1 MMI touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. This is your quick wedges with Amazon Alexa. Put it into reverse, and you got a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for the front and the rear. Click the 3D view. Now you can go all around the vehicle. You can also click on these areas here, which will change out all the different camera layouts. So it makes it a lot easier to maneuver the vehicle because it's a longer vehicle, but I mean with 0 to 60s as fast as it is, you're not going to have too many issues with reversing. Carbon fiber inlays is going to be on the top with ambient lighting. There's a total of 64 different colors. The Quattro badge will illuminate with the piano black that's going to be around it. The lower screen is an 8.6 touchscreen as well. You can configure everything from the back climate control to the front. We have quad climate control settings. This is also derived for your heated ventilated seats as well as your heated steering wheel and the driving mode select, which we have a total of 3 different driving modes, including the RS1 and RS2, which is this button right here. So you can just simply click it, and that will change that exhaust note, and then it will change the configuration here as well on the 12.3 Audi virtual cockpit that can go through an array of different content for the driver. You can also change the different viewpoints as well. So you have the sound system, and when you change the different driving modes, that will also change. And you can also have the full navigation where you can zoom in and zoom out, and you can also have it there on like a 3 different tier, which I like this because you're seeing the RPMs, you're seeing your power, torque. Heads-up display is also part of that package. Upgraded headliner with 2 moonroofs, so 1 for the front, 1 for the back seat occupants. The center here will have the perforated leather on top of the gear lever, an area for the key fob with a 12-volt charger. This will adjust backwards and forward. Ambient lighting is here, opens up into Audi phone box. This is a wireless charging pad with 2 USB ports, area for some pins. Paddle shift, so whenever you really want to get engaged and to turn on and off your lights you just simply push the button and you can kind of read everything here. So I like that it's more simplified and easy. There is a lot of technology going on. Headroom is more than enough for this powerhouse. The same thing with legroom. This is why you go RS6 Avant. You have a ton of room in the interior. Even though this bulges out, you will lose a little bit of space, and you can see it is driver focused. Door panel and dash configured together. It does have that carbon fiber interior. Yet again on the door, ambient light will surround it. It's going to be soft to touch where it needs to be. One touch up and down for all the windows with a long storage pocket. It's just not so deep, only right here for a beverage with a hidden storage pocket for the driver. Back seat. In what world do we live in? You're going to have 3 more occupants to enjoy this madhouse. Unfortunately, a con is this is manual sunshades. The door panel will have the same segment that's found in the front, so the ambient lighting will come into play, as well as that carbon fiber inlays with about the same size storage pocket. The center here, you'll have cup holders. You just push this, open this up, and you got a storage pocket. Otherwise, fold this up. You have room for 3 more, which you'll see in a second. Now, you have a digital screen here for your dual climate control settings. Heated rear seats, part of the executive package, USB ports, 12 volt, air vents, storage net behind both of the front seats, air vent on the pillar. Check out the leg space, and that's with me driving, as well as headroom. This is just awesome, because when you get into a Sportback, you can lose a little bit of headroom. That's not going to be the issue, even sitting into the center. Unfortunately, you will have to share some beat space, but this is a wide vehicle, so I wouldn't really be worried. But shoulder and leg space, not really an issue, nor is knee space. That's why you go Wagon, because you have more headroom. It's more or less an SUV, lower to the ground, with more or less a detuned Lamborghini engine. 621 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque, 3.30 to 60. Look at this. Oh my God, it's crazy. Just like that, you're going that fast. That exhaust that filters in is intoxicating. And it's still smooth. It's not practical. It's crazy insane. That's what this vehicle is. It's a sports car that you can daily. More or less a Lamborghini detuned engine by just a few horsepower and torque. I mean, that's crazy considering Lamborghini doesn't even have something like this. It's going to take me to some pros and cons right off the bat. With the pros, you've heard a ton of them, but there's still a lot more to go into. The seats are comfortable. The ride is smooth, so you don't have to worry about the everyday drive being bumpy or track driven. Even though it's RS tuned suspension, it literally just glides. 22-inch wheels. It doesn't matter whether you go to 21 or 22. I would go 22 because it's an upgrade. And when you get an RS6 Avant, you want an upgrade. Interior, I am starting to want a little bit of a change for the center cluster, especially with the 3-screen layout. Maybe integrate it into one, or just change it up a little bit. They've been doing the same setup for quite a while, but it does work. The way it bulges out on the passenger side, I could do away with that. I kind of wish it was more inward, so that way they do have a little bit more space. But it's really hard to nitpick complaints. I like that we have the 8-speed Tiptronic instead of a dual clutch automatic transmission, because it's a little bit less problematic. You don't really have to do as much service. I mean, when you're going into this variant, I know those are things that are not a huge concern, but this changes gears in the milliseconds. It's so quick and rapid. This is just normal mode. Look at this. It'll bite somebody, literally. Now, is there some lag? There will be a little bit of lag once you've already taken off and you're going about 20, 30 miles per hour. You can feel some of that lag, but in the same category, that's why they have the Lamborghini. That's why they have the Porsche. They do these things specifically to kind of push you into the next variant, but you're still getting such a quick speed right off the bat. I would like to see just a little bit more power underneath the hood though, because BMW coming with over 700 horsepower, but in the same category, you can't really get all of that power, but just for a few seconds. At least here, you can actually capture all that power, as well as going up to 190 miles per hour. Now, you do have to have a lot of upgrades, which is a con to me because it does start adding a lot to the MSRP, which, like I was saying on the exterior, we got around 20 grand of features, and yet we don't even have the black optic package. But why do you buy an RS6 Avant? To throw it into dynamics and to just show people what a wagon should do, because you're not gonna get this with any other vehicle unless you go Germans. And to get the power that's underneath this, that itself is crazy. Turn radius, it's about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. You're already up to speeds that will get you tickets, that'll put you in jail for life. I mean, I had to literally hit the brakes. 10 pistons are in the front, over 16-inch disc reading, which is insane itself. I mean, if you're keeping this in the long haul, expect to open your wallet. If you're wanting a performance variant that is not only fun for a daily use, but it fits the whole family, you have more than enough cargo capacity, visibility is great, the ride itself, these are the second reasons why I would choose this. I mean, when you're at these prices, you start not really caring too much about services. And what Audi does even better is you got Audi Care, which is a few grand. That covers you for 4 years maintenance, so you don't have to worry about spending $5,000, $10,000 for whatever service or whatever it is. It's going to be included for 4 years. Now, after that, obviously, you're gonna have to start spending money. So if you're thinking about purchasing this pre-owned, just keep that in mind, because the disc, the brakes, the engine, all this, it's quite expensive to fix anything for repair. Quietness in the cabin is excellent. I don't know if I would option the Bang & Olufsen sound system. It's almost 5 grand, but the sound is good. It's just, when I'm spinning that, I would put it probably towards the black optic package, so that way it looks a lot more aggressive on the exterior. You're getting the upgraded wheels, going against competition. BMW is crazy what they're doing, but when you put a hybrid powertrain in an M, that's what you're expecting. A lot more power underneath the hood and a quicker 0 to 60 and off the line. Whereas this, the only problem that I have with it is you still do have that lag when you're around 20 and you mash on the gas. Or if you're at 40, you mash on the gas. But once you hit over 2 to 2.5 RPMs, I would say about 2.5 to 2.7 RPMs, then the vehicle livens up. And the way the turbos kick in, one kicks in at a low RPM, the second one is kicking in more or less at where I'm saying, and you also have the 48 volt mild hybrid technology, which is continuously spooling the turbo, so that way you get quicker and rapid response to the vehicle. Me personally, I drive an exotic vehicle and I love cornering. I'll take bends on the road going 5 times the speed limit, doesn't screech a tire. You can do that with this and you're gonna get a savings. Now, as for Mercedes, they're not gonna have anything that's really competitive against this, because now they only have the E53, which is still an awesome vehicle, but let's face it, it's not a 63. Going against Porsche, like I was saying on the exterior, it just doesn't make sense. They've increased their price quite a bit. I have reviews on all these vehicles in which I feel that when you go Audi, this is the sweet spot because it unlocks so much in performance. You got the technology in an everyday blend, which is the final reason why I would choose this over the competition. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise website and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Audi Lakeland for giving us this 2025 Audi RS6 Avant Performance for our car review.